We are back on the Morning Brew with Friends. We're with Beth, the head of operations for TEDxABQ, and our friend Jessica Rowland. And you are a lecturer at UNM in one of the coolest programs, and this is one that I don't think a lot of people even really know about. It's a sustainability studies program at UNM. And I don't even know, is that the kind of thing you can get like a bachelor's or master's degree in sustainability, or is it just a few classes in a program? I have no idea, but it's awesome.
It is awesome. It's an undergraduate interdisciplinary minor degree, so it's open to undergrad students in any department or program across campus. So at the moment, it's not a major, but we're hoping to turn it into one in the future.
And when we say sustainability, what does that mean? Is that, I think about that in terms of like, environmental impact of a lot of things, but it really goes much more beyond that in the program, am I right?
Sure, yeah, so we try to take a more holistic approach where we're looking at not just environmental issues, but also those that deal with social equity and economic vitality. And we try to engage the students in more hands-on interdisciplinary kinds of activities in the community, meeting with experts that are in the fields that they hope to move into someday in their careers.
And this is everything from tech to art, right?
Across the board, yeah. Economics, business, environment, clean energy, farming, whatever it might be.
That's very cool. So how did you get involved in this?
My background is actually as a geologist. I studied climate change science, and so I come in from the environmental side of things.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And then how did you guys meet? Because there's going to be a big event coming up for Earth Day next week on the 22nd. And it's a TEDx event. It's a salon. Is the salon the right word for this one?
It is, yeah.
Okay, because you have the big event.
That's right.
The annual giant thing that everybody goes to at Popejoy, and then the smaller salons at the Albuquerque Museum.
Yes, and we actually have a few that are kind of mid-sized.
And then there's the other ones. Yeah, the folks from Reading Works who were here a minute ago were talking about how they went to the education one you had just, I guess it was last week.
The
2 weeks ago,
yeah.
And then this new one is on, it's Earth Day. Earth Day themed, I guess.
Well, it's sustainability.
Sustainability, and you're going to be speaking at it, right?
No, I'm one of the organizers,
one of the organizers,
with the director of our program, Bruce Milne.
So you don't have to wear the little Madonna mic?
Do I have to wear the Madonna mic?
That's you.
Okay.
I want one of those for the show. I think it'd be much. I get these little clip-on mic. I got to ask the director here if we can get a Madonna mic for all of this. And next time all the TEDx people are on, we'll do. The guys are telling me in my little earpiece that we can do that next week. That'd be great. But you have to learn that whole TEDx technique, right? There is kind of like this whole way that people learn to speak in the TEDx way, I guess I should say,
That's right? Yeah, the Madonna mic is actually really easy to learn. That piece of it's easy to learn.
That piece. But it's telling the story. Everybody who does
right.
a TEDx talk, a TED Talk in any way, whether it's one of the salons or one of the big events, there is a kind of a process people go through to teach them how to become that kind of speaker, am I right?
Right, absolutely. So TED Talks are a really different format. They're different from a lecture, they're different from a lot of other academic talks that people give, or even trade talks. So people do go through a coaching program with us to learn that format, to get comfortable with it, to get off their notes, off their slides. It's a really different process for most people.
Yeah, nobody goes into a TED Talk with a little button and a PowerPoint. It just doesn't happen. My friend Stacy Stocco is one of the guys who teaches a lot of the folks to do that, and he's always great about it. And how did you get involved in TED? I know that our old friend Tim Nisley ran it for years, and he got super busy in his regular life and passed the reins on, and now you're one of the organizers for this. How did you find out and get involved?
I started volunteering in 2013.
So a while now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And now that you're taking over, is this way more work than you thought it was going to be?
It's a lot of work, but it's always been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Whether volunteering, I actually started working for TEDxABQ in July last year.
Very cool.
And it's just been a blast.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite TED Talk you think you've heard locally?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say, let's see.
Because there have been, at the big events, was this year 4 or year 5?
This is year 6.
Year 6 already?
Year 6.
Oh my gosh. And there's like 12, 10, I think, every year, right?
Up to 20.
Up to 20. And then there's been all the salons. So there's been a lot. There's been a lot to choose from.
Oh, there's been so many.
Right?
Yeah. One of my favorites from last September was probably Jamie Stillings. He's a photographer up in Santa Fe. And he took a picture of this incredible evaporative it's a solar plant out in Nevada. And just the imagery and what he was talking about in terms of sustainability actually was just really impressive.
That's very cool. I loved hearing the guys from a couple years ago, Charlie McMillan from the Los Alamos National Lab spoke. And that was just fascinating because you never get to hear like the inside, like deep stuff from the lab, you know? And here's a guy who, you know, manages a $25 billion budget or something at the labs up in Santa Fe. It was cool to hear him speak. It was great. And you guys bring in all kinds of great speakers for this kind of stuff. So who are the speakers for next week's event?
So we've got a whole bunch of folks. Do you want names or just topics?
Give us some names.
Okay, so we'll
get some shout outs to our friends.
Okay. We've got Karen Temple-Beamish at Albuquerque Academy talking about their Desert Oasis Garden. We have got Gregory Cajete, who is in charge of Native American Studies at UNM. We have also got Jorge Garcia, who's with the Center for Social Sustainable Systems in the South Valley. Layla Salim, who does the Albuquerque Old School and all sorts of DIY kind of work in the community. And also Katie Curran, who's an international documentarian, filmmaker, focused on social justice. Yeah.
That's very cool. So when you were putting this together and organizing this, and you're thinking sustainability, how did you find people who were interested in sustainability versus just simply environmental stuff or simply something that was, you know, less about sustainability and more about something else? How did you find those folks that were?
Sure, yeah, so we really tried to think about that triple bottom line, or the three pillars, so folks who focus on not just the environmental piece, but also economic vitality and the social justice, and we wanted to look across sectors, so look at education, small business, nonprofit, whatever it might be, to get a broad perspective.
And are you finding those people are available in Albuquerque? Are they around, or are we behind the curve a little bit on that?
I think we have a vibrant community when it comes to sustainability. People have committed their lives to serving their communities and to really living out their values, so it's extremely impressive.
Sounds like a plan. And the big event it's in September.
That's right.
Tickets go on sale in July.
That's right.
I'm already getting emails from you guys telling me, get your tickets now, but they're not even on sale yet. But I'll mark my calendar for July for the big TEDx event.
Yep.
And it's Tuesday, the 22nd.
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday is the 22nd.
Right. Yeah,
and it's Earth Day, so it's going to be very fun to go see that, and everybody can put on their Madonna mic, and we'll go from there. And we're going to be back in a couple of seconds. We got our friends from Tractor Brewing coming up. We got Carlos and Sparrow, and they're going to talk about some art. It should be very fun on the Morning Brew with Friends.